Dependable performance anywhere, under all conditions. When it's time to replace, make sure you get all the power you paid for. Power that can't get old before it's sold.
Let's face it, some forklifts are just plain junk, and most get that way from neglect. You can avoid that by following some basic preventive maintenance procedures and comply with OSHA as well. It is required that a check be made before each shift with a written checklist and kept on file. It's best to start at one end and work all the way around 360 degrees and look for the obvious. Check the condition of the tires for cracks, large chunks missing, etc. If they are air-filled, check for proper pressure. Check that the forks are the same type and are not cracked or bent and are spaced evenly.
In most cases, forklift drivers are not mechanics, and many organizations have dedicated maintenance staff that are supposed to perform daily inspections, but that isn't always the case. You, as the forklift driver, are responsible for doing a pre-operation inspection. At a minimum, you are required to use your common sense to spot glaring safety concerns and look for the obvious. Use a written checklist. On the forks, you are looking for excessive wear at the toe, cracks, and if they are the same type. Next, check the tires. Recently, a pneumatic tire lift working at a construction site suddenly lost air pressure in its right front tire while a coworker was raised 15 feet on the forks. A proper inspection would have seen the nails stuck in the tire. Next, look at the structural integrity of the load backrest, carriage, and mast assembly. One forklift operator recently lost a 2,000-pound load of tile from a height of 18 feet due to a hairline crack that developed over time in the welds holding the carriage to the mast. Luckily, no one was hurt. While in the mast area, also inspect the hoses carefully. They are notorious for developing leaks. A broken or cracked hydraulic hose can spray boiling hot hydraulic fluid in your eyes or penetrate skin, or at a minimum can leave puddles that cause slips, falls, or skids. Inspect the overhead guard for similar structural damage. Remember, this is designed to protect you in the case of falling objects. Now that the visual on the exterior is done, open the hood and perform a fluid check. All fluids are important, but the hydraulic fluid is what's pressurized in the cylinders and is key. Check that it's full and that it's not excessively burnt. It's usually located near the control side. Then check engine oil, transmission fluid, brake fluid, and engine coolant. Perform a visual inspection of hoses, belts, LPG fuel lines, and other hardware. Remember, you are looking for the obvious. There was recently a case at a pet food processing plant where the customer complained about excessive smoke and odor emanating from the engine compartment. Upon further examination by our mechanic, a 12-pound dead rat was found to be caught in the engine close to the exhaust manifold. Needless to say, spotting the obvious was not their strong suit. Don't overlook the air filter. A dirty air filter can cause excessive carbon monoxide. On electric-powered models, inspect the battery carefully, which will be covered later. Now, perform a functions test in an open, clear area away from people and obstructions. Start the engine and allow it to warm. Be certain all gauges and dummy lights function. Run through all the hydraulic functions such as raise, lower, tilt, side shift, reach, and any attachment functions such as opening and closing a clamp. Put the lift in gear and test the drive. It should be smooth without excessive jerkiness. Drive a short distance to test the brakes. A forklift with good brakes should come to a complete stop in a smooth manner. Some owner's manuals suggest putting the lift in gear, applying full brake, then apply full throttle to see if there is any movement, which would indicate bad brakes. Test the parking brake by driving on a slight grade with the lift in neutral and engage the park brake. It should not roll. Class 1, 4, 5, and 7 lifts only. On Class 2 lifts, test the functionality of the Deadman brake, which is unique to stand-up style lifts and will be covered in a later module. On specialty equipment like pallet jacks and stackers, a key item to check is the power emergency reverse switch, a red button which reverses the equipment if depressed. On order pickers, check fall restraint equipment, the pallet lock device, and the travel speed limit switch. Lifts that have outriggers need to be inspected for shrink wrap caught in the load wheels. What we have covered here today is just the basics. For a complete list, the best place to go is the owner's manual. It has a comprehensive checklist of all the areas you are responsible for, including items unique to your model of forklift. The daily inspection is just that, daily, or every 8-hour shift, whichever applies. Use a written checklist. Some deficiencies you find may be a minor annoyance and can wait for repairs. Other items are critically dangerous, like propane leaks and non-functioning brakes. When in doubt, take it out. If you feel a machine is not safe to operate, take it out of service. Make some safety authority aware of the problem and red tag the machine.